Hey folks, this is Mr. Tangus here, doing my gratitude garden, and I realized today that I had recorded, I think, two other gratitude gardens, um, and never posted them. I recorded them, uploaded them. By the time they got done uploading, I totally forgot to post them. I apologize about that. I'm going to try to include some of the stuff from previous weeks that I forgot to post. Um, One of the kind of like themes over the last like 2 weeks is we've had like a pretty big sub shortage since COVID hit, and as a result of that, there have been certain days and stuff where I've had to go in the classrooms, and in the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty much every day. It's because the sub shortage is just getting worse and worse as time goes on. A lot of times we can find one, maybe two subs if we're lucky, and so we have to get creative. And I want to make sure our teachers have subs, so I will jump into classrooms a lot. And one of the awesome things about that, even though it's unplanned and it kind of like puts me behind on things, like, it is such an overwhelmingly like positive experience, an awesome experience to get into classrooms. I've been in art, I've been in PE, I've been in a third grade classroom, I've been in a fourth grade classroom. I think I've been in a first grade classroom. And it's just, I miss being with the kids. It's something that as an administrator, I'm responsible for a lot of logistics and paperwork. Like I'm trying to make sure dismissal goes well. I'm trying to make sure that, we're all set up for pool testing, that NAWIA testing's organized, that, our tier three applications are complete and paperwork that goes with that. Like we have all kinds of like logistical kind of paperworky stuff that I get to do, and I get to handle complaints about things and try to navigate those and try to figure out what do we do. And so I don't get as much, or not anywhere near as much opportunity to be with the kids as I would like. And so like opportunities like this for me to jump into a classroom and just feel what it's like to teach again, and feel what it's like to be with the kids again. It's been like an unexpected breath of fresh air. Like, when it first kind of got dropped that like we were having a sub shortage and I have to jump in the classrooms and I have all this stuff I got to do, I was like a little stressed out. But then I reminded myself to just take a deep breath. It is what it is. Let it, take what's in front of me and make the most of it. And it's been awesome. I've been doing some mindful coloring with the kids. I've been doing some fun activities with the kids in the classrooms. In PE, been taking them out on the nature trail. And I gotta tell you, like, that is such a cool experience. I'm so glad that, like, that's one of the good things that have come out of COVID. Is it really? I know Mr. Knoll spent a lot of time last year building the nature trail up and cleaning it, and you go out there and it's absolutely gorgeous out there. You really do feel like you're in the middle of the woods because you can't see the school because the trees are so thick. And and the kids just have a blast. There's a beautiful stream that goes right through the middle of it, and watching it. And it doesn't matter if the kids are 5 years old or 11 years old. Kindergarten, pre-K, sixth grade, whatever. They all have a blast out there. It's interesting because on the playground, we find as the kids get older, they tend to dislike recess. They get bored. They've got the field, they've got the playground equipment, which quickly fades by the time they hit fourth or fifth grade. A lot of kids hate using the equipment. The kids who like sports, they're typically entertained, but a lot of the other kids, they get bored. And that's when we see in the older grades, we see a lot of like rumor spreading and stuff like that, gossip and stuff like that going on, because the kids have told us like we're bored, so this is kind of what we default to. But you get them out in the nature trail, doesn't matter how old they are, they all have a blast. It just brings out this natural curiosity and excitement in them, and they start playing games and building things. When I brought the fourth graders out there, they were working together as a group to, unprompted by me, they just on their own decided that they were going to start building a bridge with these giant logs that they were finding. And they like came up with all these cute names for the different jobs and for the different logs that they were finding. And they were really thinking hard about like, how are we going to make this like a real bridge? How are we going to make this an effective bridge? Like, and they were come up with different ideas and they tried different things. And such a great experience for them, and they're all working together, being super kind to each other. The kindergartners are out there, trying to climb the trees and Going into the forts and playing house and playing snake hunter, and just, the second we get out there, you just see like the excitement fill them. And like the kindergartners, I remember like today when I was out there with them, were like yelling, "We love nature!" And a lot of these kids, and a lot of kids in general, just they don't get this opportunity to just go out in nature. And like there is something about getting out of the house and getting out into the wilderness that like it changes you, whether you're an adult or a kid. It's in a positive way. It's very relaxing, it's very exciting, it's very um, it does instill a sense of curiosity and a different type of thinking. So I'm really glad that we have that opportunity for our kids here. And then just like everybody, even though this year has really hit the ground running, we're definitely back to normal when it comes to behaviors. I talked last year about how we had like a 92% reduction, and we certainly are not at that 92% reduction in behavior anymore. I mean, we got a full boat now. Like, school is packed full of kids. We have a little over 100 kids more this year than we had last year in the building, and it makes a big difference in stimulation levels, and which results in more energy, and more energy and more stimulation results in more behaviors. But like people have been really good about maintaining positive attitudes and like really working hard for the kids, and they are really good about expressing gratitude and talking positively about things and working together to solve problems. And it's everybody. Like it's not just teachers, it's everybody. Like even our kitchen manager, Joe Lee, who came to us this year. Today for lunch, for example, they were giving the kids a special dessert. They made whoopie pies. And so she, before she left, brought up some whoopie pies for all of the office staff to say thank you. And like over the last couple of weeks, as I have had to cover a lot of classrooms, sometimes, once in a while, I will be called out to recess while I'm also in charge of a classroom, because Miss LaPerriere was out a day or two for various appointments and whatnot. Um, and so like I'm the only admin in the building, but I'm covering a class, but there's an issue on the playground I need to go cover. And so what happens is, Nikki comes down from the office and covers the classroom for me, so I can go out and deal with that. And it's like, I don't. How many schools have a secretary that's willing to go cover a classroom in a situation like that? Like, but yet that's the kind of people that we have here. Like we step up and we do what we have to do, and we make sure that we do things as best as we possibly can. And then we have like for example, our custodian Rhonda, who's here during the day. If she has any time during the lunch blocks, she will be in the lunchrooms helping out, giving an extra pair of hands, even though she's not on the duty schedule, even though she doesn't have to be there. If she's got extra time, she's there, and she is an extra pair of hands. And I can't express like enough gratitude to our teachers for the work they do with these kids. I mean, yesterday I got to sit down. I was in the office, and there was a kid that came up to see the nurse, but there was a line, and so this was a kiddo that was in our upper grades, and he started talking to me, unprompted by me, just about how proud he was of himself, because he's like, I'm having a great year, and I'm like, you are, dude. Like, I haven't seen you up in the office at all, and like when I'm downstairs, like you seem like you're really attentive and paying attention and doing well. And he reflected on his schooling here, and was like, when I was younger, you remember how I was when I was younger? I was like, I do. He's very impulsive, very hard to focus, a lot of energy, was constantly pinging off the walls. And yet now here he is, years later, and night and day difference. Super polite, super respectful, super chill, focused, and it's amazing how much kids can change over time. That's the neat thing about elementary school. My background's in middle school, where I was a 7-8 teacher for math, and so kids were in and then they're out, in and out. So you didn't get to see that long-term growth. But being able to see kids come in at kindergarten, work their way up through sixth grade, or even pre-K, they come in pre-K and work their way up through sixth grade. and seeing the radical changes that they go through. Like, you got kids that come in, like this little guy in kindergarten who just he pinging off the walls, and you're wondering, like, oh man, like, what is this gonna look like in 6, 7 years? And what I realize is that, like, we have such great staff here that work with these kids, and great, you know, families that work with us, and it's these kids 9 times out of 10, when they come in kindergarten pinging like that, they by the time they hit 6th grade, like, night and day difference, totally different kid. They calm right down, um, and they adjust, and they do super well. There's another kiddo here today that I was talking to who, when he came to us, not too long ago. He's not a kid that came here in kindergarten. He's one of our older kids, and he was struggling in the beginning of the year in September, and was up in the office almost all day every day with various behaviors. And now here we are at the end of October, and I mean, he just super polite, super helpful, so much less angry and frustrated, and just, he's been on point. Like, great behavior the last few weeks. And he is super, and that's the most rewarding piece, is when you see that the kid is taking pride in their growth, and in themselves. Like, he just is beaming, and I was really sad. It almost brought to tears today a couple times, because he said he might be leaving us soon, and going to a different school. And I just the growth that we've seen in this kiddo, and to not be able to see that through, just it's it's a little depressing for us, but hopefully the move will be good for him. um, there's all kinds of things to be thankful for in this building. So many kind emails that come in from teachers and community members, and another big shout out to all the parents and office staff that have been helping us navigate this whole dismissal process. That's another thing where we started the year. I think day one, I think dismissal was like 350, 355 before the buses left. And, parent pickup took forever. Parent pickup wasn't where we quite wanted it. But we were running into this issue with the buses. And then within the last week and a half, the buses just have found a place that they can go park. And so we were able to take another stab at revamping the dismissal process this week. We put out a message, gave it a go. All of a sudden, we've shaved another 5 minutes off of parent pickup. I believe we have been successful the last 3 days. I think by 3:25, parent pickup has been done, something like that. Which before, in weeks prior, we wouldn't be done with parent pickup until sometime between 3:30 and 3:35. So we've shaved 5 to 10 minutes off of parent pickup again. So that process just continues to get smoother and smoother, and is looking better and better. And it's a process that we weren't expecting to have to give so much time and attention to, working out, because we came into this year thinking that like not so many parents were going to pick up, because historically we used to have like somewhere like 15 to 20 parents maybe that would pick up in the afternoon. And that number just kind of exploded last year with COVID out of a necessity, right? Because we had to have parents pick up. And then this year we just started with a ton of parents, just kind of continuing what we did last year. We end up, I think we dismiss somewhere between 80 and 100 kids via parent pickup. This year, last year, I think it was more like 120 to 150. But we're making it work, and we're making it work in less time. Last year we ran pickup from 2:30 to 3:30, and this year we're doing it from 3:10 to 3:30. So for us to be able to go from having an hour for pickup and buses to only having 20 minutes to get all that in, like, that's pretty awesome. I feel good about that. That's my gratitude. Last thing for Gratitude Garden is Kiev. We've started doing Kiev with our 6th graders. They go after school twice a week over to Kiev. Kiev staff have been amazing. The kids are absolutely loving it. My daughter is at Miller, and she's in 6th grade, my oldest daughter. And she will actually choose Kiev over basketball and she loves basketball. So like, this is a super cool opportunity for our kids that I'm super excited about. The Kiev staff are amazing. The kids are amazing, and this opportunity is amazing. And we're even going to have a Kiev educator in residence here at school for like 5 or 6 months this year, starting at the end of November, who has an expertise in STEM. And so I'm gonna play around with what specifically to do with that educator in residence for our kids and see what kind of opportunities we can generate, which would be really exciting. Um, and it's really cool because as an elementary school, we don't have a lot of extracurricular activities. We don't have a lot of after school activities. The time that we get out and the fact that we don't have an activity bus, there's all kinds of factors, but it makes it really difficult to have after school activities. And the fact that our sixth graders get to engage in this very hands-on outdoors um, opportunity in team building opportunity with Kiev is awesome. It's nice to finally be able to offer something after school. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time to commit to because it's 2 very late nights every week because kids aren't getting picked up until between 6 and 7 at night, and so it does make for late nights. But I gotta tell you, like, it's hands down 100% worth it. It's awesome. I've gotten to go a few times now. They've gone 3 times, and I think I went twice, possibly. And just it's been awesome. So really appreciate that. That was we got a grant last year. Mrs. Watton was able to get a grant to fund this and organize this, and it's something that will hopefully continue. We will be able to continue for years to come, and years down the road, hopefully we'll be able to expand and offer it to more kids. So that is my gratitude garden for the week. Thank you everybody who tunes into these. It's been an awesome week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you.